Jersey City, the second largest municipality in the Garden State, hasn't had a new mayor in 12 years, but it's about to get one. Two contenders in a crowded field are here. The Point starts right now. Former Governor James McGreevey was born in Jersey City, and now he wants to be the mayor. Of course, some people might think you have to have your head examined, but okay. Let's talk about the affordability issue. I think it's an issue that everybody cares about, especially people in Jersey City, especially when it comes to housing and other things. How do you fix that?
I think, Marcia, we have to understand that the cost of rents and property taxes have gone up exponentially in Jersey City. Not only because we have individuals coming from across the river from New York City into Jersey City. So we have to do a couple of things. One, we have to designate a percentage of market rate. When we're looking at market rate housing, we have to have affordable housing, workforce housing, where there's 20%, if not higher, when we're building market rate and affordable housing. Two, we have to work with our houses of worship, whether our mosques, whether temples, whether our churches, to upzone. And that is, if they're building senior citizen housing, if they're building workforce housing, allow them to go higher for their parishioners, for their members of their congregation. Three, we've got to look at distressed properties throughout the city and reclaim them utilizing money from our affordable trust fund. So part of this is, as mayor, we have to be persistent and deliberate in the approach to affordable housing. And I committed in the first 4 years 1,000 units of senior citizen housing, 1,000 units of affordable housing, particularly for seniors. They've lived their whole lives in this house, but property taxes have gone up. Sometimes they're forced to sell their home, but they want to literally die in Jersey City. And we need to be in the business of preserving that right.
You know, one of the things that's worked in New York City has been that anytime a developer wants to build a new building, 20% has to be for affordable housing. But I wonder, how difficult is it to get developers in New Jersey to buy into that idea?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, you tell them that you're not going to build unless you do 20%. You know, then we all get religion. So I think part of it is you need a mayor who makes this a priority. And we also need an Office of Tenancy Rights so that we're going to protect the interest of our renters, particularly in sometimes I had a situation where a landlord literally moved the ramp of somebody who was handicapped. Clearly egregious, clearly wrong. We need to make sure that our tenants are also protected.
One of the issues that's gotten some traction on this side of the river is the idea of a rent freeze. Is there anything you can do in Jersey City in terms of limiting the amount of increases that landlords can impose?
Well, right now we have a municipal ordinance that caps the increase, and where you can have a rent increase is governed by state statute. So in terms of Jersey City, it's 4% for those homes that are subject to rent control.
So another issue that people care about in Jersey City has to do with transportation.
Yeah.
Bus rapid transit, a big issue. But the question is, what do you do? If you do bus rapid transit, you have issues in terms of creating bus lanes, which reduce the number of places that cars can go. So how do you deal with the need for transportation at the same time that people want to drive their cars?
Exactly. But when you're building the city, and you have less available land and space for moving cars, you've got to start thinking. And part of it is working with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. We need to rebuild Journal Square in terms of the PATH station. We need to work cooperatively with the Port Authority. We need to work cooperatively with light rail and bus rapid transit to move people more expeditiously. But I had a meeting with the mayor of Bogota, Colombia, and his whole point is that if you build bus rapid transit, you can move more people from one side of the city to the other faster so they don't need cars. But it has to work. If it doesn't work, you're going to force people back into their cars.
So, but isn't there going to be some resistance, shall we say, to putting, if you're going to say JFK Boulevard, you're going to have bus lanes.
I'm impressed that New Yorker knows where JFK Boulevard is.
I did my homework. I've also been to Jersey City.
I know you have been.
So the thing is, if you do that, don't you have to have bus lanes on both sides? One going one way, one going the other way. That makes it really hard for cars.
That makes it really difficult. But I think part of it is to do a traffic survey, look at the available space, look at parking, and look at also technology and where you can utilize technology.
So you're talking about dealing with the signals?
Yeah.
So that you can get green lights?
Yes.
But then what does that do to the cars that also want to go?
Well, I mean, part of it is that, for me, I think you've got to look at connecting the systems. And so whether it's path, whether it's light rail, whether it's bus rapid transit, whether it's parking for cars, you have to have an integrated system. And right now in Jersey City, it's not integrated. It's piecemeal. And so people get frustrated, like on the path. People get frustrated that they have to go through Hoboken to get to New York City. And I think the path is going to move in the right direction and eliminate that present route.
So what about parking permits? Are you going to have more?
We have to have parking permits. And, you know, we used to have these little decals, and then they went to this fancy system where it's computerized, and they're ostensibly looking at somebody's driver's license and determining whether or not they paid. It's all, you know, candidly, it's rubbish. We've got to go back to parking permits. And also, Marcia, all the wonderful New Yorkers who cut through downtown Jersey City on the way to the tunnel, that has to stop.
How are you going to do that?
Just put auxiliary police on the corners, and if they don't have a parking permit, pass an ordinance that only allows Jersey City permitted individuals to come through during those key hours. I was downtown Jersey City, and God forbid somebody suffered a heart attack, and it was gridlock with all these wonderful New Yorkers.
So we're going to have signs that say "Keep New Yorkers out."
Well.
Well, you wouldn't go that far.
Exactly. If they're spending money in the restaurants, they can come to Jersey. But no, you know, at certain hours, you can't use Jersey City as a cut through to the tunnel. That creates havoc. It creates dangerous circumstances for the community.
Or you could just give them another toll. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Congestion pricing for New Jersey. No. I'd like to talk to you. Another affordability issue is the high cost of electricity. And I wonder, you know, what your idea would be in terms of trying to reduce rates. The Democratic candidate for governor says we should have a freeze on electricity rates. Mr. Jack Ciattarelli says what we have to do is get out of the greenhouse gas thing to save the state up to $500 million. Are either one of these ideas workable to reduce the incredibly increasing cost of electricity?
Well, I mean, that's clearly a state policy issue, but on the local level, what you do is...
But you could have a say.
Yeah, but what I would do as mayor of Jersey City, I would be in the business of creating a reserve on the grid, and that is community solar. So, it's been done successfully in different parts of the country, literally low-cost solar panels, so that you capture the energy. And
Where do you put them?
On roofs, on public buildings, all over the city. And basically, you capture it and you supplement the grid through the use of these community solar panels.
That sounds like a very forward-looking idea, but who pays for it?
Now, part of it is understanding the importance of tax credits from the state of New Jersey that presently exist, as well as working with the federal government. But the name of the game is you have to bring down the price for working class families, and the only way you do that is if you supplement the grid, if you supplement the power available to families.
So another issue in Jersey City is a large immigrant population. Is there a concern about ICE and the attempt to go after people? No,
I think what we have to do in Jersey City is, and what I do every day of my life in terms of New Jersey Reentry Corporation, is we work with people and we provide them basic services. We provide them, whether it's health care, access to medical care, access to understanding where there are workforce and training opportunities, and operate. But I mean, what you need to do is you need to be smart and you need to be strategic in providing those services to people at critical junctions.
So is it going to be a big issue in terms of proving that you could stand up to President Trump?
Well, you know, I've worked with both Democrats and Republicans. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I can stand up, I believe I can stand up to anyone, but most importantly, who I want to stand up for are Jersey City residents, Jersey City families. And so I think I'm from a different generation. I mean, the polemic is interesting. The back and forth is interesting. It gets everybody's blood pressure up. But at the end of the day, people in Jersey City want to control their taxes, their rents. They want to improve the quality of their children's education. They want safe and clean streets. And they want to do something about the bloody e-bikes that are about to run us all over.
You only have 15 seconds. You're going to get rid of e-bikes?
No, we're going to license and register them. I mean, they're out of control.
License, register, and tax them.
Well, we're not going to tax them.
I'm just joking. We're going to have to leave it right there for now, but we'll be back with another candidate who wants to run Jersey City. 7 people are running for mayor of Jersey City. Councilman James Solomon is one of them, and he's now running neck and neck with Jim McGreevey. So let me ask you the same question I asked him. Here's what people care about: affordability, affordability, affordability. If you were elected, what are you going to do?
Yeah, Marcia, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. And it is the question of this election, is how do you deliver an affordable Jersey City? In the last 10 years, we've become, by some metrics, the second most unaffordable city in the country. And our property tax...
Why is that?
Great question. The biggest thing for me is that we've developed for developers and not for the people of Jersey City. So for me, my number one thing is to demand that developers build 20% affordable housing in large new projects.
How come people haven't done that in the past?
It's a really good question, in part
we
because...
do it here in New York City.
Yeah, because in part developers fund every politician in New Jersey and Jersey City except for me. So I'm the only candidate in this race who's promised...
You're not taking developer money?
Since I've been a councilman for 8 years, I made a promise not to take donations from developers. My 2 major opponents in the race have taken hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some are actually proposing unlimited tax breaks for developers. And for me, it's not that development is wrong, but you've got to make sure the development process benefits everyone.
Mr. McGreevey endorses the same idea you did, is that you have 20% of the apartments be affordable.
Yeah.
So,
look, I think if you look at the former governor's campaign donations, he has taken hundreds of thousands of dollars from those developers, including the Kushner family. And so I think you have to ask your question, what do the developers and the donors know that the population doesn't? And I think they know that the former governor is on their side, and they're not giving me money, in part because I won't take it, but also in part because I know I'm going to get tough and make sure development benefits the whole community.
But how do you limit? I mean, it's not just that you need apartments.
Sure.
You need them to be affordable.
100%.
So how do you limit what people can charge for rent?
Yeah, so I mean, you can do that in your zoning law. You pass what's called an inclusionary zoning ordinance that says every large-scale development has 20% affordable homes in it, and then you set the rents.
Still, how much they charge?
So yeah, so we 100%. So we have a plan to make sure some of those rents are $1,000 a month, some of those rents are $1,500 a month.
But how can you guarantee that the developers will do that?
Because they can't build if they don't. You force them to sign agreements, and you can get tough on these guys who have built luxury-only projects year after year after year in Jersey City.
What else do you have to do to make Jersey City affordable?
Yeah, you got to protect tenants and keep them in their homes. So we have corporate landlords that too often are jacking up rents 10, 15, even 20% in 1 year. So we have a plan to cap the rent. I was the first councilman in this entire state of New Jersey to pass a new law that banned the use of AI algorithms to jack up rents. And then we've got to stabilize property taxes. Property taxes have gone up 50% in 5 years. So many, like if you're knocking doors in Jersey City, the question you get over and over and over again is the next rent increase, the next property tax increase is going to force me out of the city. So we have an obligation to ensure that rent is capped and property taxes are stable.
So I have to ask you this question because Jim McGreevey raised it in his section.
Sure.
And he said that, you know, as we both know, a lot of the people who are running for mayor are people who've had jobs in Jersey City. You've been a city councilman.
Yeah.
He says they've had their chance, they haven't done it, give me a chance. So what do you say to that, that, you know, you were a councilman for 8 years and you haven't done anything on affordability, rents, 20%, apartments, et cetera. So how could, if you couldn't do it then when you were in the council, how can you do it now?
So I think first, I'm really proud that as a councilman that I have an extraordinary record of actually fighting for affordable housing, taking on the real estate lobby and beating them. I mentioned it earlier, but it's worth emphasizing. We were the first in the state to pass a law banning the use of AI algorithms. We passed a new fee on luxury-only housing to fund affordable housing, and we're the second in the entire state to fund what's called right to counsel, which guarantees tenants access to an attorney to keep them in their home. So I have this real record of fighting for affordability, but here's the thing. The guys I've fought, they're all supporting the former governor, right? Those developers, the Kushner family, they're all giving him money. So for me, it's a little bit, you know, disingenuous for him to say, hey, I'm going to take all the money from the real estate industry, but then say I'm going to get tough on them. Whereas I've been on the council fighting those guys year after year, and as mayor, have the actual power and tools to deliver a more affordable Jersey City.
What are you going to do about electricity rates?
Oh my goodness, they're through the roof, and it is killing people. You're on those doors and those rates are high. Now, as mayor, the rates that I have the most control over are water and sewer. And so we have a plan to basically get rid of a secret tax, a water tax that's been placed on our water and sewer bills and prevent those bills from going up 5-7% every year. Obviously, electricity is more in the realm of the governor, but we do know that we need to make sure that utility prices don't skyrocket.
But what about electricity rates? That's the thing that people complain about.
As they should, because they basically skyrocketed. So you had big tech, right? Big tech has adding all of these data centers. They're driving up demand. At the local level, we can make sure that we are doing our part, that we're increasing solar production, that we're ensuring that we have clean, affordable energy in Jersey City. And then we can do more to help low-income tenants, right? We can make sure we're going out. There's the LIHEAP program. There's different programs to help address energy bills. And as a local government, we can go door to door, get documents translated, and get as many people in our city signed up for help on their electricity bills.
Mikey Sherrill, who's a Democratic candidate for governor, says her idea is just to freeze electric rates. The present governor, Mr. Murphy, Phil Murphy, says, I don't think she can do that. How do you come down on that?
I'm with Mikey. Look, I think she's not going to kind of take no for an answer. She's going to get in there and deliver real affordability for folks. That's what she's running on, and I trust that she's going to get it done.
Okay, let's move on to the idea of the fact that you have a large immigrant population in Jersey City, and there are efforts by the Trump administration to make arrests, issues about whether it should be a sanctuary city, issues about what you can do to stop ICE arrests. What's your plan?
Yeah. So first, Jersey City will remain a sanctuary city as I am mayor. Donald Trump, Pam Bondi have sued us. They've tried blackmail, and I will fight back every step of the way. And again, the former governor didn't speak out in favor of our sanctuary city policies. In fact, he said nothing when we were sued. And I think that's in part because he's raising money from the same billionaires that fund the Trump movement. So for me, we're going to do everything in our power to keep Jersey City a sanctuary city, use our legal tools, use our political tools, and fight to protect residents of Jersey City, because Jersey City, 40% of our residents were born in another country. We have people that have been living there for decades. All they've been doing is working hard and paying taxes, and those people don't deserve their families broken up.
Let's talk about transit, bus rapid transit.
Yeah.
Big issue in Jersey City.
Yes.
Can you do it?
Absolutely. So,
but you have to get people angry by putting in bus lanes and taking away traffic lanes.
And you have to have the courage to do it. So for me, the best site is the Kennedy Boulevard. So if you're in Jersey City, just call it the Boulevard. It is a 4-lane in either direction with a lane of parking, so it has the space for us to do it. We'll need the partnership of the county government, which
People
I'm
who
happy
drive
to.
are not going to be happy.
I understand that. But look, the buses, 40% of folks in Jersey City don't own a car. We need reliable, fast bus service. It's really important to make sure we address the affordability issue, because you have to be able to live in an apartment you can afford and be able to commute. The Boulevard takes you right to the path. So it's a really important corridor for Jersey City.
But what changes do you have to get Jersey Transit and other groups to do so that you can actually do this?
No, you're going to need New Jersey Transit's partnership. So, on day one, what I've promised to do is sit with the future governor and say, the #1 investment that I need in Jersey City is transit. I need you to make our PATH train run 12 minutes on the weekends, not 20. I need investments in bus rapid transit. I need you to help run the 87 and the 10 and the 80 and the 119 and the 126 more effectively. And that's my #1 ask of a future governor. It's the #1 use of my political capital. I'm not interested in the French Pompidou Museum, which is what the current mayor has been pushing us for. The #1 thing is invest in transit.
What about parking permits?
So we have residential parking permits in certain parts of Jersey City. We can explore resident-only parking, the way Hoboken does in Jersey City, and make sure that we're able to provide reasonable parking options for folks across the city.
And do you think that that's going to be something that's going to fly?
Yeah, look, we already have it in downtown, district that I've represented. We already have the residential parking. Hoboken has already had the resident-only parking, and so we can explore what Hoboken's system looks like in Jersey City.
We're going to have to leave it right there for now, but our conversations continue right after the show on our streaming channel, CBS News New York. We are back with Jim McGreevey. Another topic that's very important in Jersey City is education. And one of the things that I was sort of surprised about was reading the polls would say that so many people in Jersey City are supporting charter schools. I guess it's saying they don't think that the public schools are doing a good job.
Well, there's a real problem, Marcia, and we have to admit it. I mean, that's critically important. I mean, in terms of 8th grade, only 10% of the children in 8th grade can pass a state assessment on math.
10%?
10%. I mean,
How is that possible?
Exactly. And in terms of 3rd grade literacy, only 37% of the children can read.
So what are you going to do? You got to do something about Jersey City schools.
You don't have to tell me. It's one of the reasons I'm running. I mean, part of the reasons I'm running is to make sure education works.
How do you fix it?
Well, part of it is I'm going to sit down with the Board of Education, and the Board of Education is a separate entity, and we're going to sort of list the criteria, objectives of what we're going to achieve. And if we don't achieve those, and God willing we do when we work on a partnership, then I go back to the voters. But I am determined, if you want a world-class world-class city, you have to have world-class education. I hear from parents literally every day, particularly parents whose children are on the spectrum, who have an individualized education plan, and they're awful. Bureaucracy, frustration.
But how do you do that at the same time that parents are saying, please bring charter schools? I know my experience with parents is that if their kid gets into a charter school, they think they've died and gone to heaven because they think the quality of education is so much better.
But you have multiple avenues. You can have charter schools. You have charter schools are public schools. You have traditional public schools. You can have religious schools. You have a plethora of schools.
But how do you improve the quality of Jersey City public schools?
Well, for me, we have a whole platform set forth on our website, but I mean, I can go through it. One is early childhood literacy, pre-K literacy. I mean, there was a whole movement towards whole language, which was crazy in this country for about 50 years. We moved away from phonics, and so now we
You have to move back. In New York City, they moved back to phonics. It's having big results.
Yeah, and that's why we have to move back to phonics, but we have to make it mandatory. We have to understand there are great teachers, and we have to work in partnership with them to provide them training.
So are we talking about retraining teachers about how to teach English?
Yeah, but retraining teachers how to teach reading and make sure that we have reading coaches from pre-K, first, second, third, and fourth and fifth grade, because so many children, even after third grade, don't have those reading skills. And if you don't have those reading skills, you're out of the game.
But what role does it play that there's such a large immigrant population in Jersey City where as much as 50% of the people speak another language at home? Does that make it more difficult to teach English?
You know, I have a lot of friends in the various immigrant populations, and candidly, those children know multiple languages by the age of 5 or 6. I mean, sometimes more than English and their native language. So I don't think it's necessarily a question of native born or immigrant. In fact, many of the immigrant children can speak multiple languages.
So does it mean that you need to ask more money from Trenton?
No, you can say you want more money from Trenton, but we're spending right now $1.1 billion. And everybody says more money, and of course you want more money.
So
but you also need standards, you need best practices, you need less money in terms of the administration and the money into the classroom. And when I'm criticizing the school system, I'm not criticizing the teachers, because there are great teachers that take money out of their pockets to provide basic services to children. What I'm saying is, if you have a choice between another administrative assistant or a literacy coach, the money should go into the classroom where the child is.
So basically you're saying you need pre-K and 3K classes as well?
Yes. That's critically important. In terms of pre-K, we should start children with phonics. We should start children with the ability to transliterate what the letter F looks like or what the letter S looks like. And those phonics start early. But, you know, here's a classic example. We had the opportunity to train our teachers in phonics, but they made it optional, discretionary. No. It should be mandatory, and we have to understand we need to move away from whole language, back to phonics, and work with them collaboratively.
So there are 7 people who want to be mayor of Jersey City. You're one of, there's 6 others. Many of them have had experience in local government, either in the city council or various jobs in Jersey City. What sets you apart from them in terms of your experience in terms of doing government work?
Marcia, I think for me there's 2 basic points. One, you know, for the past 10 plus years, I've been doing reentry, working with people coming home from prison or addiction or combat veterans trying to rebuild their lives. So I haven't been sort of in the, if you will, in the muck and mire of Jersey City politics. And so I would say respectfully, the people who've been there, you've had your chance and you've done what you've done, or you've not done what you've done. And so for these past decade plus, I've been working with people in nonprofit, and I see where government works and I see where it doesn't work. I mean, the reality is none of our clients can afford a rental property in Jersey City. But having served as governor, having served in the state legislature, having served as a mayor, I know how to manage monies. I know how to bring in federal and state grants. The municipal budget is $700 million.
It's a lot of
the
money.
School board budget is $1.1 billion. And if you look at our audits, it's red flag, red flag, red flag.
So basically what you're saying is that the people who are running against you, while they have experience in Jersey City politics, They have improved themselves.
Yeah, they haven't. I mean, like, if you think everything is good, God bless you, you should vote for one of them. If you think that there needs to be basic systemic change on affordability, on education, on safe and clean streets, on the e-bikes, then I would respectfully ask for your consideration, because I will be that change and I'll deliver it.
But a lot of them are a lot younger than you are, and there's a new move afoot to look for younger people. Is that a problem?
No, I have caffeine.
Me too.
The solution to all of our ills.
So one of the attacks that have been made against you by one of your opponents is that you are accepting deep state, dark state money from Republican donors. You want to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't, you put out a solicitation, you invite people to contribute, whether they're Republican or Democrats or independents. I don't check someone's partisan tag. I mean, it's you're raising money to. I mean, I'm a middle class working family. Two daughters, college tuition. I mean, you're raising money.
So one of the other attacks is that, on your record and having to leave the office of governor. Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I was gay, I was in the closet, I resigned. I mean, the whole state knows it. And, but I'd also say, and I've claimed this, that I've learned more from that resignation. I wouldn't change anything, because had I not done that, I would not have been doing what I did for the last 10 plus years in terms of working with our veterans and seeing how government doesn't work.
So it gave you a different...
like I went from the top of the heap to the proverbial bottom of the heap, and it changed my worldview entirely.
How did it change?
It changed my view because I look from a different perspective. I look from not a political perspective, like the young man in a hurry politician. I look from a perspective of the guy coming out of a heroin addiction, and how is he going to survive, and where is he going to live, and how is he going to get, whether it's his methadone, or how is he going to get his MAT, or the veteran coming home with multiple traumas and he's not getting any benefits because he's suffered addiction, or the fellow coming home from prison and looking for a job. It completely reversed how I saw the world. Fundamentally, it made me a better human being.
Can it make you a better mayor?
It'll make me a better mayor, a more compassionate mayor, and God willing, a more decent human being.
So to change topics, is there anywhere in the world that's on your bucket list that you'd like to visit?
Well, my daughter is now in London, which, she left me with 2 cats, and my youngest daughter, I'm a dog person, but now I've got 2 cats. I do kitty litter and I do Heinz cat food. She's in London, so God willing, she'll come back for the election, but I'd like to see her over there during Christmas and the holidays.
What's the last thing that you read or watched on TV, and what made you laugh out loud?
I'm listening to a book on Rome, on the Republican period, and I'm listening to that, which is good. And I just listened to a book on Lincoln, which was tremendous. I do a lot more listening now. Laugh out loud sometimes on the political circuit, the crazy things, somebody, it's the give and take naturally on the political trail.
So if you were to win, you will replace Steve Fulop, who has been mayor for 12 years. Is there anything that he's put in place that you would like to build on and keep?
Well, I think the mayor has done an incredible job, and to give him kudos in terms of the development downtown. What I would like to do is to look at development across the entirety of the town in Greenville, Lafayette, where my family is but I'd also like to make sure affordability. I want to make sure for the family that's 4 generations Jersey City, they don't have to leave Jersey City.
So, last question.
These are great questions, by the way.
Why are you the best person to be mayor of Jersey City at this time?
Because I think I was mayor of the township of Woodbridge for 10 years, government experience, know how to work budgets, know how to get stuff done. And I think this is important, walking down the hill. So, I mean, this isn't like, I was a very different guy running for mayor of Woodbridge how many years ago, when you want to be governor, you want to be this. This is, I see, because this is, you want to give back. This is the place I was born. This is the place my grandparents came from Ireland. This is, I want to make the education work. I want to make infrastructure work. I want to make transportation work. I want families to be able to, I want there to be a neighborhood. That's the other thing with Jersey City. I think we've lost that sense of community that I want to rebuild in tangible ways. Recreation centers for kids, where seniors see young people, where they share a sense of community. I think for me, as you get older, you get a little bit wiser. God willing, your sense of what's important has changed, and I think that would make me a much better mayor.
On that note, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Marsh.
Thank you at home for joining us as well. We are back with Jersey City Councilman James Solomon. Another issue is the sorry state of education in Jersey City. What are you going to do about it?
It's a really good question. So for me, my 3 daughters, they're 7, 5, and 3. They all attend Jersey City Public School. So I couldn't be more invested in ensuring that we have a public school system that works for everyone. And the current Board of Education is not good enough. They are not delivering what we need in Jersey City.
How can you do about that? You don't control it.
You don't, but a couple things. One is you get engaged in elections, right? Last year I was the only candidate running for mayor that was willing to support candidates running on change. They were just public school parents who were pissed off at the state of education in Jersey City.
Changed.
No, but we won. So we got a 9-member board. We won those 2 seats. So now it's 7-2. So now we're supporting 3 more.
Okay.
Hold on. If we win, we get 5-4, and now you have a majority of the board. And then you can implement real changes. So on literacy, on absenteeism, the current board does not have the plans. The current superintendent is not putting forward the plans needed to improve our schools.
If parents want it, why haven't they responded?
You know, I think sometimes folks are focused on the wrong things, and they don't have the vision and the expertise to deliver. And I think you need people saying, look, we've seen literacy programs across the country work. We've seen parent engagement in Union City work. We've seen programs to reduce absenteeism work. Those things are proven to improve the quality of education.
Parents want charter schools. They don't want your public schools.
Well, look, I'm a parent. I want public school, so I am one, but I do support charter schools in Jersey City as long as they're held accountable for ensuring their population matches those of the public schools.
What kind of programs do you think you need to implement seriously to improve the reading rates and the ability of Jersey City students to compete in the real world?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of different things. At younger ages, better phonics instruction. At older ages,
phonics instruction.
Actually, do it phonics instruction. Let's start there. I appreciate that. Yes, I think as older, where we're not providing the vocational and job training that we need. So I do have a plan for 1,000 new summer jobs. We used to have that program in Jersey City. It's been reduced and near eliminated, and that is incredibly important to providing our young teenagers with the types of both employment and experience they need to then become successful as they get older.
So your website mentions that you want to make the world a better place. What does that mean exactly in the world of politics in Jersey City?
That's a great question. Sometimes the bar is low in Jersey City about what that means. So, but for me, it's the core belief of why you get into public service. You know, my story. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. Blessed today to be in full remission. But when that happened, I think life is short. And if you're blessed with a second chance, you have to spend that making people's lives better. And for me in Jersey City, if I can be a successful mayor, I've built thousands of new affordable homes with rents of $1,000 and less. We've stabilized our budget and taxes. We've delivered basic city services effectively. And people in every corner of the city know that I'm a mayor who shows up and cares.
So part of your so-called make beep work plan is that you want to make sure that everybody has a good customer service relationship and that departments are responsible. How are you actually going to make that happen?
It's a very good question. We're going to bring city officials before me and my leadership team every single day and hold them accountable. It's based on a system that has worked in cities across the country called CityStat, but it's about accountability and saying, look, I'm a mayor, that if I see something wrong, you're gonna get a phone call from me, you're gonna get a phone call from my team. We're gonna say it is unacceptable for potholes to remain unfilled, for trash to litter our streets, that the people of Jersey City deserve a government that is working as hard as they work.
But so basically you're modeling after CompStat here in New York City,
Correct.
which deals with police. But you're basically saying you want to have your own dashboard
Correct.
to measure city services.
Agreed.
How much is that going to cost to develop?
Won't cost that much. I mean, we'll put it out for bid, maybe $100,000 or so. But Baltimore is the example. So Baltimore took that CompStat idea and said, okay, we're going to create CityStat. It was then Mayor Martin O'Malley that really led it, and then it sprung across all cities across the country. And so there's a really successful model for us to build upon.
So before you moved to Jersey City, you were in Boston and you were an aide to the mayor of Boston.
Yes.
I wonder what you learned from that experience. Boston is a really unusual city.
Absolutely. I learned a couple of different things. So I had the honor of working for Mayor Menino, who was the longtime mayor of Boston. And
I know him well.
Yeah, I learned a couple of things. One was he was always focused each and every day on making Boston a better place, and there was no job he wanted more than to be mayor. And to me, that's the ideal, right? The mayor is the dream job for me. You actually get to serve your community every day, and then every night you're home and you're putting your kids to sleep. That couldn't be a better job. And so what I saw from Mayor Menino was that intense focus on getting the little things right in the city, as well as getting the big things right, making sure that Boston was an affordable city, making sure Boston, this incredibly diverse city, was unified. And he led with such integrity and such leadership that that's a real model for me.
So how did you come to be working for the mayor of Boston if you wanted to be mayor of Jersey City?
Well, at the time, I did not want to be mayor of Jersey City because I was young and figuring things out, but I'd gone to graduate school. And at the end of my time in graduate school, I got to work for the Public Works Department in Boston, and they thought I did a good job, so they offered me a job upon graduation. I was there for 2 years, and then my lovely wife got a job in New Jersey. So she got a job in Newark working for the public school system there, and came to Jersey City first. And she called me up, and she was like,
"Are you a Jersey boy?"
I am originally. So I grew up in Jersey. I was there for 18 years, left for college, and then was gone for 12 years before my wife brought me back.
So is there anything that Mayor Fulop, who was mayor for 12 years, did that you would like to continue?
Absolutely. So for me, the best project the mayor did was the Bayfront project. So the mayor took this site on the west side of our city, used city funds to purchase it, and is going to turn it into a mixed income development. So we're going to have 35% affordable, but with genuinely affordable homes. Again, those rents that are $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month. That is an incredibly successful model. We just started to break ground on the first phase. And as mayor, I both want to see that full project to completion, as well as find other land sites for us to produce similar mixed income development models.
So you, if I'm not wrong, you were a teacher?
Yes.
What did you teach?
So I was an educator in collegiate settings. So basically I taught Intro to American Politics and Environmental Policy at NJCU, Hudson County, and St. Peter's, which are our 3 universities in Jersey City.
Did you have a favorite teacher?
Did I have a favorite teacher? That's a great question. I did. So Mr. Costa was my favorite English teacher in high school. And he was the first teacher that really helped me think about, I think, sort of bigger philosophical questions. What is the meaning of lifestyle questions? And some of his lessons still stick with me today.
So what's it like being a girl dad? You have 3 girls.
It's the best. It's the best in the world. My girls are the joy of my life. They're so much fun. They're 7, 5, and 3. I get my nails painted. I go to ballet recitals.
Wait.
They're not. Well, they're not painted now, but my youngest favorite color is green, and that's my favorite color. So she always wants to paint my nails green.
So what would the ladies in your life, how would they describe you?
I think they would describe me as a very, very loving father, and someone who cares.
You get your nails painted green.
That's right, exactly. And someone who is, you know, it was very cute. My middle child said, "What's the thing I love most about Dad?" And she said, "He's the best tickle monster ever." So
I got to ask you this: when you get your nails painted green, how long do you leave the polish on? Is it a day, a week, an hour?
It's a day, because this is the kid polish that comes off pretty quickly. So we have a bunch of the kid polish that washes off. So it's like a day. Yes.
So if you could have any superpower.
Oh, great question.
What would your superpower be?
I think time travel. I love history. I think the ability to go back in time, go into the future would just be incredible.
So last question.
Yeah.
Play tour guide in Jersey City.
Oh, goodness.
If you could take me 3 places in Jersey City, what do you want me to see?
Okay, so the first place I'm taking you is Liberty State Park. Liberty State Park is the gem and oasis of Jersey City, 600 acres of open space. We've had a developer try to build on it year after year, and we always fight and stop them. Best views of New York City you get from there, and just an incredible oasis. In the second place, I'm going to NJCU. That's the university that I've taught at. It's a small but beautiful campus on the southern part of the city. And then last but not least, I'm taking you to 2nd Street Bakery, because you have to have the best Italian sandwich in Jersey City.
And what is the best Italian sandwich? What's in it?
So for me, it's the one with salami, prosciutto, mozzarella, a little bit of sun-dried tomato, and balsamic on top. And the bread is homemade. They've been baking bread in that place since 1920.
So the bread is the secret.
The bread is the secret, and the mozzarella. Don't leave out the mozzarella.
So when are we going?
Whenever you would like. If you want to come to Jersey City with me now, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcia. I appreciate it.
Thank you at home for joining us as well.